We'll start the process here. So first, notice how his alignment of the body is, and that's why I'm using this this new software here, is because I want to start being able to show you guys more from an alignment side. What are some of the key points that you need in order to really accelerate and really perform at the top level of your throw? So first, notice how he's starting to kind of load his spine there as he's coming back, where now his spine is tilted off to the side, right? So we can see that right there. Let's see if we can actually change up these colors here. Maybe make it yellow. Okay. So now notice how he's still loading the spine. Big thing is when he lands, he does a great job of landing on that hitch and landing on his back leg. The big thing that I usually see with guys when they go and they go through this, when they land, they end up landing with much more of their weight kind of coming forward, and even all of their momentum going more in this direction, right? Going this way rather than the momentum kind of going down and pressing down. You can see that Josh Allen's doing a good job of pressing straight down into that back leg, and we all know the importance of loading that back leg. Another big thing is notice how he's loading and how he's got those shoulders and that elbow in that direction. So he's kind of pointing upwards, but his hips are actually still pretty aligned here. Okay, they are a little bit, right? It's a little bit of a shift upwards, but it's not near as much as you can see with this angle, right? See how the differences are there? Okay, that's going to be an important thing to realize and understand as you're loading on that back leg and as we're trying to increase our ability to throw. Now, next thing that we want to take a look at is what happens in that elbow as he transitions to bring it back forward. Now, how much does it kind of come underneath here? Okay, keep on watching. Notice too, real quick, notice how he's pivoting off that back leg and making it so his hips are opening, right? See how those hips are opening? But his shoulder still stays closed. He's pivoting off that back leg. He's getting the hips open by pressing off of that back leg. Now, one of the things that I think is going to be important too is, let's see here how he's able to transfer that weight forward as he comes to the throw. So I'm interested to see how much his hips come all the way through as he's coming forward. But notice how that elbow is moving, okay? Kind of drops a little bit, okay, but not too much of a drop. That's going to be a crucial thing for quarterbacks to realize, okay? And now also, notice how much that bottom hip is open and started to rotate, and he's able to keep that front arm closed really well. That's hip and shoulder dissociation. We talk about that a lot. You got to be able to open up those hips and keep that front shoulder closed. We see a lot of guys have a lot of trouble being able to do that, okay? So that's going to be an important thing to be able to recognize and be able to correct, okay? Now, big thing is notice in this process here, watch how his angle ends up being in that elbow. Okay, so he's all the way kind of turned open here. Now he's starting to turn open with his front shoulder. Great ability to get lumbar spine movement here. So that's a big thing that we work on as well, as we work on your ability to get lumbar spine flexion. You got to be able to have core strength to be able to get this. You got to be able to have a lot of range of motion in the core in order to get this. These are both very, very important things to really excel on as a quarterback in order to get the maximum out of the throw. And we see this a lot in pitchers as well. Look at how much external rotation he's in that shoulder, okay? He's able to turn and get that ball way back behind his back behind him. He's able to bend so much in that elbow, so much in that shoulder in order to make it so he's able to completely accelerate during the throw. Notice that knee bend angle, okay? He's able to maintain that the whole time, okay? He's very, very strong on that front leg. And then how he's getting those hips all the way up and through, okay? He gets all the way off of that back leg. He gets those hips all the way up and through. What really ends up being an important part of this is, where does this line end up being? So how well is he able to get his hips lined up with his head? Okay, a lot of times what ends up happening when guys end up throwing the deep ball is they don't get their head all the way through, or they end up with their head all the way off to the side or way too far out in front, leaving those hips back. When you're releasing that ball, you want to make sure that head and that shoulder are all basically aligned as you're coming through. And we also want to make it so those hips get all the way up onto that front leg, which this line kind of moved as we went through the motion. Okay, so we wanted to see if you'd be able to, I'm going to just, oh shoot, it's a quick video here. Sorry about that. We're past it now. So, what I wanted to be able to see there is, don't freeze on me. So what we wanted to be able to see here is if we were going to draw a line where he landed with the like right kind of behind the heel, kind of right through that knee, if we'd be able to get those hips all the way up onto where that heel hit. And I don't know exactly how this film was shot, so I don't know if he is going to be like how he's if the camera's moving as he's going up onto the front leg, because it seems like the line ends up kind of moving forward, even though it's obviously stationary. But really, what ends up being the case is that can he get that right hip up right over his his uh, his front foot as he's throwing, okay? Because that ends up being a big thing. Again, when guys start throwing deep ball, again, look at that external rotation, so good. As they end up throwing, they end up not being able to get their hips all the way forward. They stop the movement of the hips, so the hips end up way back behind him, and the head ends up way up in front of him. Again, notice when he's getting rid of the ball, once when it comes out of his hands, how everything's nice and synced up, where his hips don't get all the way up and over to the front heel, okay? But they get pretty close. You know, they're not really far back behind him. And really, what's more important is that his hip and earlobe end up to be very, very balanced, very, very in line, which is one of the big reasons why he's able to get a lot more on the ball. So you really, and this ends up being a common thing that a lot of guys have when they're actually throwing normally, but then when they have to start throwing the deep ball, then all of a sudden the hip gets way back behind them. So you want to be able to maintain those really good mechanics, no matter whether you're throwing both from a that deep ball or something underneath. So yeah, guys, I wanted to show you that video real quick. If you have any questions, let me know. As always, thanks for watching these videos, and check out the online program. We really put in exercises there that will really help in getting some more shoulder range of motion, which I think is going to be a critical component in order to really maximize your ability to put a lot into any type of throw, really, but especially the deep ball. So, and I think what Josh Allen did here and what he showed here during the deep ball is the importance of having that external rotation. So yeah, the online program is attached to the video. Ask any questions there, and then also check out our free ebook. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.